I wish I could tell you that I'm completely healed now. After all, it's been 4 years since my world was turned upside down. If you haven't watched my video from last week, I recommend that you watch that when you get a chance. Because in that video, I shared with you all the life altering events I went through, how I struggled, and how I learned to heal and transform. But to be honest, I don't know if anyone can ever be 100% healed. To me, the goal isn't to be completely healed before I set out to create a new future and reinvent a new self. It's about learning to continue to move forward, to surrender to life, and to love fully. As I went through each breaking point in my life, whether it was my divorce, job loss, or breakup, I turned inward to tend to my inner child, uncover hidden wounds, and learn to love myself more. Although I'm not completely healed, and perhaps I never will, when I look back on who I was 4 years ago, I can say that I truly am a whole different person now. I've healed and grown so much. And you might ask, what exactly did you do when your life was so chaotic? After all, when life seemed hopeless, it was as if you were stuck in quicksand, sinking deeper with every effort to get out. The weight of hopelessness kept pressing you down, leaving you exhausted and draining every bit of your energy or the will to even try. It felt like there was no clear way forward, and every direction looked more like darkness. It felt like you were trapped in a cycle of confusion and despair with no light to guide you and no strength to push through, right? Yeah, it was extremely hard. And there were countless long days when I went into hermit mode, didn't want to do anything. I still managed to drag myself out of my bed and perform all the basic duties as a mom, my work, and those day to day chores. But beyond that, I spent so much time just curling up in a ball and either zoning out or crying. I've done various healing and spiritual work, and I also spent a lot of time learning. And in today's video, I'll share with you everything I've done. If you followed me on any social media, you probably already know that I'm a huge advocate of journaling. I started journaling when I was still young, middle school, I believe. I actually had a rather unusual childhood, which I won't go into today. And with very limited resources and knowledge I had back in the days, I now believe that the reason I didn't go down a wrong path or become a bad kid was because of my habit of journaling. And by the way, I don't really believe in bad kids. It's an unfortunate label we give children who need help the most. But that's a whole different topic. Now, back to journaling. As I mentioned, it became a channel for me to let out my emotions and to face all my questions or problems as a teenager when I didn't have anyone to turn to. As I started growing up, I slowly stopped journaling. I would still write down some thoughts or ideas here and there, but I didn't really spend time on properly writing down my thoughts. And in over a decade, when my life became increasingly stagnant and purposeless, I wish I had picked up journaling much earlier. But remember what I said? Everything that happened for me happened in 2020. Yep, you guessed it right. I started journaling again in 2020 when my world seemed to come to a stop. Or quite literally, the whole world did come to a stop because of the pandemic. I had to figure out a way to channel my strong emotions, and so I turned to journaling. Now, if you Google the benefits of journaling, you'll find a ton, from self awareness to reducing stress to achieving goals and much, much more. But for me personally, especially when I was going through life's breaking point, What journaling helped me the most was channeling and processing my emotions. It was so funny though, because sometimes I'd be so angry or sad about something, and I'd start writing everything down and allowing myself to play a victim's role and blame the whole world. And then as I wrote pages and pages of complaints, I would literally get tired of myself. I remember there was once I ended my journal with this: okay, this whole complaining thing is just so exhausting. I'm done. And I just shut the journal and went on to do other things and felt so much lighter. You see, journaling gives me the opportunity to let everything out, put everything down on paper so I can forget about it and move on. Or I can reflect and improve. I encourage you to start journaling if you haven't already. And you don't even have to make it a daily thing. It can really be as needed. This is your personal safe space you can hold for yourself. No one else is going to see it. Okay? So really allow yourself to be vulnerable and be honest. Because only when you go deep and face the rawest you can you start healing and growing. Another thing I started doing more consistently was meditation. This includes mindfulness practices, affirmation, body scan, and guided visualization, etc., etc. I must say that with years of practice, I'm still very much a beginner because I'm just naturally an overthinker. It's very difficult for me to control my thoughts. Now, I'm also very visual, which means when I'm only listening to audio, my thoughts will easily wander away. So for me personally, guided visualization works the best because even though it's audio, it guides me to visualize different scenes, which helps me focus and control my thoughts. So I encourage you to find out what works best for you. But why meditation? See, we've probably heard a lot of the here and the now or stay present these days, but this is not just a Zen thing, okay? Scientifically speaking, our anxiety is a fear based emotion that stems from focusing on the worst case outcomes of future events that haven't happened yet, while stress commonly arises from feelings of inadequacy, such as not being able to cope or having low self worth. Now, let me repeat that. Anxiety is a fear based emotion that stems from the future events that haven't happened yet, while stress is usually from feelings of inadequacy. So, as you meditate, you learn to stay grounded and focus more on the present moment. And it will help you reduce anxiety and stress. And you gain the strength you need to face challenges in life. Okay, so those are the things that I've done to deal with my mind. Another really, really important thing that I started doing, yep, in 2020 again, is that I finally started taking care of my body. I started working out again consistently, and that was a big deal for me. I can't stress enough how important it is to keep our body moving and in good shape. Now, I'm not a fitness coach, and I would say everyone has a different definition of good shape. I would say this though, at least as a first step, get yourself into a shape that you feel comfortable with. That alone can already help to boost so much of your confidence, let alone your energy. Now, if you've already had a consistent workout routine, please keep it up. And you can probably skip ahead to the next part. But if you're struggling with building a consistent workout routine, let me tell you a little bit about my change. If you watched my last video, you may remember that I mentioned I barely worked out, at least for over a decade. And I was borderline overweight by the time the pandemic hit. As we were all trapped in a house, the first thing I started doing was walking. because that was the easiest way to get my body moving while keeping a distance from people. Plus, I always enjoyed hiking. So I started doing 10,000 steps a day while I listened to meditation talks. But what really changed my wellness lifestyle was when I discovered a new taekwondo school near me and decided to join the school. And from there, things changed very quickly for me. I still remember, though, how out of shape I was. And after warm up in my very first class, I was close to calling it a quit. So, in order to keep up with my taekwondo training, I had to basically change my lifestyle. I naturally wanted to train more outside of my classes so I could increase my stamina. And I also started eating healthier. Within 7 months, I lost about 18 pounds. But the biggest win for me is that I finally built an active lifestyle with regular workout that I used to think not possible in the prior decade. So, what's the key here? Find something you love to do. Okay? I was able to do 10,000 steps until I started taekwondo training because I do enjoy walking. And my passion for taekwondo was strong enough for me to continue to go to classes. And from there, I was able to add on all these other things. See, I used to keep signing up for gym membership, thinking, oh, I'll go because I don't want to waste my money. And did I go? Sure. I think maybe 2 or 3 times after I signed up. And then I just conveniently forgot about it until I remembered to cancel my membership. But now I'm finally keeping my gym membership active because there are so many things I wanted to do beyond taekwondo, such as weightlifting and more. Now, from a neuroscience perspective, to disrupt our old habit and build a new one, it needs to begin with a desire bigger than the old one because our old neural pathways will always try to pull us back towards our old behaviors and actions until the desire for something else becomes strong enough to change this pattern. And that was why my old behavior of signing up for gym membership never worked until I started back on taekwondo training. Because my passion created the emotional relevance that was necessary to keep me going. Another important thing to keep in mind is to build rest into your routine, okay? Don't go from 0 to 100 overnight. Our brain needs to process and reflect on learning. So if you skip a day for whatever reason, don't beat yourself up and quit. Take the time to rest and come back again the next day. Now we've covered the mind and the body, and there's one other crucial area that I spent a lot of time on, and that is the soul. Okay? My spiritual journey is really a major part of my transformational journey. It helped me find my inner peace. It keeps me humble, knowing there's something greater than me. And it certainly serves as a constant reminder for me to surrender and to go with the flow of life. Everyone's spiritual journey is completely unique and different, so I won't go into too much details here. But I do want to encourage you to look into creating a spiritual ritual if you don't have one already. Now, your ritual can be anything: meditation, yoga, getting in touch with the nature, etc., etc. I highly recommend you that you find the most powerful technique that works best for you personally and create your own ritual to support your healing journey. And finally, during my years of healing and transformational journey, I also invested in self growth and self care, whether it be coaching, shifting my mindset, pursuing my passions, or building my own support system. I've become better at facing life's ups and downs, which gives me the strength to pull through challenges and remain calm and hopeful. I've always been a very curious person and love learning and experiencing new things by nature. But I must admit that part of why I started losing the sparks in me in the decade leading up to my life's breaking points was that I pretty much stopped exposing myself to new things. Or was it because of that I lost my sparks? Well, I guess it was a vicious circle. And as I pick back up my passions and continue to find new things I enjoy doing, I become more grateful for the simple joy I already have in life. And that really helps me to shift from a scarcity mindset to abundance mindset. Now looking back, I have so much gratitude for the previous version of me who witnessed her world that she worked so hard to build crushed right in front of her eyes, confused, terrified, and hopeless, but decided to take a huge leap of faith to heal herself, reinvent herself, and create a new reality. I know very well that I will continue to face uncertainty because that is life. But every day, I become a little bit more motivated, a little bit more empowered, and a little bit more compassionate. And that is my birthday wish for myself. I have found my true calling, which is to help people suffer less and enjoy more. I really hope this video inspires you to face your own unique life challenges. Again, if you're ready to jumpstart your transformational journey, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for you. I really hope this video inspires you to face your own unique life challenges. Again, if you're ready to jumpstart your transformational journey, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for you.